Alright, I'm here with Tifa. The reason being is because when I played it initially, I think it was either the first or the second commander of the set I played, and I didn't know if it was going to be, really good or whatever, just played it for the sake of it. It happened to be extremely good. Um, However, the list I was playing was not very good at all, in my opinion, so I ended up playing this later off stream, which is a vastly more normal version, because the one I had a bunch of random stuff in it that cost 4. Actually, all the explosive vegetation effects and all the kind of stuff you do at 4 and green I had in here, and I think there was some more stuff beyond that as well, and it didn't play too well with Tifa, I started to notice. Especially as Tifa lists got more fine-tuned, and it started to look more and more like this. Which I have played a lot off-stream, but I've not played this kind of thing. But everybody who's ever seen this commander has probably seen a list extremely similar to this. Maybe 85 to 90 of the same cards, protection spells, ramp spells, all that jazz. Some of them don't even run Scape Shift. But I've done this. So I had the starting one for the video, and then I had this one that I do offline. I was kind of curious, because I've seen this a couple times, but honestly not that often, is what does it look like if Tifa is just sort of a scare tactic, where it's here, and it can win, sort of like Bristly Bill, but you still have that other thing you're doing in green. I had noticed, having played the sweaty version of this, that you have a lot of mana by the end of the game, whether you win or lose. It would be interesting to maybe blend it so I can use the mana that I've just vomited out into play over the course of the game to do egregiously broken stuff. I mean, green with Ancient Tomb is cracked in half, so like a turn 2, or you can do a turn 2 Pock, stuff like that. Chrome Mox. You can actually put 5-drops into play on turn 2 if you have the Godsend opener. It is possible, like Mox and Tomb and a Mana Dork, it's possible to have crazy things happen like that. It doesn't even have to be the most broken thing ever, it's just you played a 5-drop on turn 2 and your opponent's like, well, that sucks. So when it comes to the new set, to get specific, there's actually not really anything I'm particularly interested in when it comes to Tifa. However, I've never really got to play with this card yet, and it technically is a weird scape shift. It is actually not impossible for you to have Tifa do the thing when you are at the mana that is required to cast this card. It is certainly possible. There's another one that a lot of people like. It's just this one. I actually do not like this in Tifa specifically. I'm sure in other kinds of green things or whatever, it's okay. I found it to be a little underwhelming in 1v1. You play it on turn 2, and then from then on, you sometimes get counters and stuff, but I'm not really a big fan of what this card is doing, especially in Tifa. But again, this is not the, all 1-drop, all 2-drop kind of Tifa thing that I would, again, play offline. This has got the blend of doing a ramp thing, and your opponent is probably just extremely concerned with what Tifa can do. It's not like Tifa, isn't there. They can still win the game, But, it's sort of... I have other ways to win, whereas if Tifa died 2 or 3 times, the game's kind of over as a Tifa player, which is fine. You just move on. It is what it is. But I think it's kind of interesting to maybe see what happens if your opponent mulligans extremely violently, so they have an answer to Tifa, and you actually don't need it. That's something that I hadn't really tried before. It's kind of cool. It's almost like playing 6, the 3-mana 2/4 in your command zone. It's there, it's doing stuff. 6 doesn't inherently win, though, like Tifa can, so it's a lot more scary. We're up against what I would assume is, kind of the more competitive commanders, because we're playing one of them, so the bracket is not in our favor, but that's okay, because this is the power level of this thing. It's expected to play against those kind of things, so let's see what happens with a more weird-looking Tifa. I'm actually curious. I don't have any land to reanimate stuff. Vorinclex is kind of underwhelming, in all honesty. Yeah, let's try that one. Why not? We can try this. I mean, it's a new card from the new set, and I can't say I hate it. It's doing the 3 things you like to sort of do, so there you go. Yeah, I haven't seen Keenan Scythus and stuff playing Tifa. Oh, this is actually a very good hand. This is an excellent hand. Assuming my opponent blitzes to kill this, I have a different way to win. This is a hand that... Oh, this is an excellent example, where I would probably not keep this if I was an all-in Tifa deck, but I'm not, so I can probably keep it and feel way less bad about it. What do we have here? Burgeoning. Alright, that is play land, right? When your opponent plays land, yeah, so it doesn't work off of, like, rampant growth and stuff. We have Spell Pierce? I don't think they could have Spell Pierce. I'd be a bit surprised. This is also the first time I think I've ever seen this. Like, ever. Why is the YouTube chat, like... What is doing that? There we go. No, it's just when I played Tifa, it was day 2 of Final Fantasy, so it was extremely unoptimized. And again, this is not... I'm not going to go over it again, but... So I don't necessarily have to play a land, but it's kind of hard to not play a land. So let's start here. Actually, you know what? Let's yeah, this is fine. I'll cast Haro here. Oh, they don't have lands. They don't have lands. Okay. That's wild. Opponent just doesn't have lands. That's crazy. I don't care if this dies. In fact, there's maybe an argument my opponent does not want to kill it. You make it a big Tifa in Brawl. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing here. I have not done this, and I haven't really... I've seen it a couple times. Alright, they did top deck a land, but we do know that they do not have another one. I will keep this card. I'll keep this. Alright, I will shuffle that. Actually, we can start with the shuffle here. And probably not feel sad if there's a bad outcome. I mean, if you were going to kill this, you should have done that already, so... Doesn't make sense to kill it now. Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make sense to me. You should have killed it on your own turn. I knew of no lands in your hand for burgeoning. You top decked one, so I should have not given me the option to find stuff there. Also, the fact that they missed a land, this could be, yet again, another example that you have a massive boon when you don't actually put Tifa in play. And your opponent mulliganed to answer it specifically. Also, I'm perfectly at 9 lands, so I can Tooth and Nail next turn. And, yeah, this is really funny. Look at that. That is really funny. Now they need some kind of counter spell, or I don't know. Assassin's Trophy, not looking at its best here. I don't have a lethal Tooth and Nail, but I definitely have a scary Tooth and Nail. One would argue it's lethal because I just get Ooh, is it in here? Let's find out. I can't remember. Okay, well, that just resolved. Okay, no, it's not. I was gonna say if whatchamacallit's in here. So we can... No, let's get Primeval Titan. Yeah, let's get this one. This is okay. No crazy board state for Craterhoof. Hornet Queen is 15. Sure. Ancient Tomb, and I guess random fetch land? Sure. Yeah, again, we know of no lands in hand. I could have held on to this land, actually. Yeah, it is an interesting card choice in 5-color to run Assassin's Trophy. There's I mean, you have all the answers, all the cards in the game as options, so this is an interesting option. Opponent gets Destiny's Spinner. Not gonna do much here. Hey, there it is. Alright, so we play this thing. We can also now play Tifa. I can play it literally 16 times. I can hold this land as well. I have no real reason to play it. Do I even want to play Tifa? Tooth and Nail should win all the time, but I just don't have Eldrazi or something. Could be a mistake. Shh. Sure, that just lets me draw a card, but yeah, they don't take any damage, no? And I'm okay with this. Okay. We should probably play our land because we know burgeoning isn't going to do anything. And then I'll just take 2 damage because who cares? And there might still be an argument that they are hyper fixated on Tifa, and I don't actually have anything in my hand that cares about it. Could have got a second fetch land with Primeval Titan to make it scarier, like especially this too, yeah. I don't think I needed Ancient Tomb. Does this deck run sweepers? It looks like it's the 5-color good stuff pile variant, but it does seem to have enchantments, so I think anything's possible here. Anything is in fact possible, alright. How does this work? So you bestow this and win? It's been a while since I've done this. Right? It's not a win, but it's... No, this is definitely winning. Yeah, no, this is just over. Yeah, this is just super, super over. Cool, look at that. A lethal top deck. I wonder if Tooth and Nailing for that Nintaku would have made sense as we had this in play, but that might be too steep. I think I'll play Cultivate if I get to. Opponent mulligan 2/6 here. Alright, it looks like a Swords to Plowshares. I'm not even going to risk hopping combat. I'm just going to send this immediately. Yeah, it looks like... It could be Minotaur, we'll find out. No, it looks like Swords. Yep, so there's a massive advantage of playing around your opponent's Blitz mulligan to answer Tifa. Could also be Solitude, in all fairness. Highly known as Path of Exile, but we've seen that card quite a few times. More than I think we should, but you know. Mutavault. Wow, spicy. Yep, again, super respecting the Tifa. Man, this might actually just be the better way to play it. Huh. Wow. So, Spring Bloom Druid? We can probably just play Gwenna, because, I mean, these two work nice with each other, right? No major incentive to do much. I would like something scary, though. We have the mana to do it. I'd like to draw it. Sword of Spaghetti and Noodles. Alright, so let's find out if it's Solitude. Alright, it doesn't appear to be Solitude. Let's do that. I could have maybe held on to this till next turn and just simply cast Tifa, maybe? I'm not sure. It's actually a curious question. I'm going to not play my land, though. There's only one land in my hand, and, well, yeah. I could have maybe done it to play around specifically deal 4s. 4 damage-based things. That is not it. That is a Gemstone Cavern, okay. Starting to see these more and more. Hard Light Spaghetti. Target creature. Opponent controls. I've never seen this played. The 1-mana chain that doesn't need a mountain, alright. Oh wait, is it creatures? It is specifically creatures. Alright, we did draw a land. We have this. Wait, what does this do? Equal to your thing, equal to stuff, things. Alright, unfortunately I want to play my stuff immediately. So I'm going to just send this now. Like, I want to play my land and stuff, which this would obviously enjoy its own existence. Yeah. Oh, I found something I like. It's at 5. Again, probably Ancient Tomb. That is not Ancient Tomb. Okay. That is a thing with text on it. Let's play this and pass. There's no reason to play this here. I could go into this card, but yeah. Alright, I was going to say there's probably a pretty solid chance. Oh, are they dead? 1, 2, 3. So 2, 4, 8. Okay, they're not quite dead. This is any card, right? So keep. Submit. Let's get rid of one of these Manadorks. Yeah, the rare instance of getting rid of a Manadork here. Sure. I can actually play a turn 2 Mossborn, or one of these turn 2? Or actually, turn 1, excuse me. I can do one of these turn 1. This is very scary, and if it doesn't work out, I would just have this, and I think I do lead into Hydra here. I think I do. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. This also protects me against certain things by just getting rid of my Manadorks. Yeah, we're gonna play the Hydra first. It's a must-answer threat, and it's literally... Well, that was my first turn, so... I do not care about Strip Mine. I don't think I've ever been Strip Mined. I think this is actually the first time I've been Strip Mined. Interesting. Yeah. No ramp. No, this is ugly. Yeah, this is super ugly. On the draw, I mean, it can kill with Tifa, so we'll see. It's on the table. It's really hoping to draw a 1-drop there. Would have been ideal, to say the least. So my commander next turn, and then... Oh, this is the weird Joda. Oh, of course, yeah, of course. Can I blow that up? I think I have to. I think I full stop have to blow this card up, so I'm going to make the attempt to do as such. I know I could blitz for Tifa, but if it doesn't work out, I'm going to feel like a goober, so... We are absolutely going to play this and blow that card up, so my opponent doesn't have the perfect mana that their deck oh so desperately loves. And who knows? Maybe that was the entire hand. We'll see. I mean, there's still a green source in play, so... Could mean almost stone cold nothing. Alright, we play this. I will continue to blow up my opponent's stuff, because I don't care about what the rest of Nissa doingness things. Let's play this. Green. Let's play Burgeoning. This can put at least one land into play, and then hold on to the rest of my cards, because I don't need to cast them. And we have lethal next turn. Good sign. Alright, we got there. They didn't play a land either. Alright, so we play... well, we play this first. It truly does not matter, but I'm going to. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Is this lethal? Oh, of course it is. I'm sorry. It doesn't have to be a forest. I thought I, like... Oh, no, I don't have a second forest. It doesn't have to be a forest. Alright, nice. This is why I have Blanchwood armor in here, is so I can just go super tall and just one-shot your opponent with basically any ramp spell. Alright, so the one that makes the weird skeletons. I have not played against this yet. Feels like it really wanted to be black and red, but, I mean, let's see what our opponent can do here. I'm excited. I also want to use this once to say I've done it. Oh, alright, well, you... Ooh, actually, all three... Oh, wow, really? That's crazy. Is that crazy? Maybe it isn't. Maybe that's actually not crazy. I ended up just Thoughtseize bugging them and got one anyways. They didn't Thoughtseize themselves. Okay, let's play you as a pseudo must answer threat effectively. This can't block, right? No. Okie dokie. That is a very good card with this. Well, I mean, as good as a 5/5 is going to be. They have to kill Tifa, though. They just can't play their commander. Yep. They didn't swing for... Oh, right. There'd be no real reason to swing. Okay, so this is the power of Tifa. Forcing your opponent to deal with it and completely shutting out your opponent's turn. Because they have done as such. Let's replay it. No reason to crack my fetch lands for any reason, actually. Oh, I love this. I love this. Oh, I love it when this happens. I love it. Alright, there's some mana. Not as good as simply drawing a land, but it's kind of similar enough. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can start doing this. I know about Tooth and Nail as well. I don't think there's a single answer to Planar Bridge in my opponent's deck. Other than, like, Ulamog or something weird, which I don't know why this would be playing that, so... We are most assuredly going to cast this card right now. Alright, Planar Bridge. What do you got? It's sitting there. Threatening everything ever. Desperation kill the mana dork, because it's my 8th mana source. And bank on me not having a land in my hand. Oh, they're doing it. They're actually counting my mana. Okay. Hail Mary, kill the halfling. Nope, not quite. Return target creature to the battlefield and banish the skeleton. Okay, there's no mana investment, so the Buried Alive is basically one of the best cards in the deck. This and, yeah, Buried Alive. Easily some of the best cards in this deck. What do you reanimate? A 10/10? 13/13? Like, what do you actually do? It doesn't have any stats on it. They don't have reanimate mana. Which would be kind of... like, atrocious with this. Wait. Oh, they just spreed it. I see. Alright, they just spreed it. Alright. Alright, so it is a Hail Mary Desperation Kill my Delighted Halfling. Love to see that. Of course. Why would I play draw land? No, why would I draw land? So... okay. Yeah, we'll play that land instead of another one. I think that's fine. Can I play... I cannot. I'm okay with getting rid of this armor here. Although we kind of already have them shut down, but I have a game-winning hand. I might as well make a giant stat stick. I have a game-winning hand. I don't need to have this on Tifa. I don't even think Tifa's going to come up this game, so... might as well just have a seriously dummy-wide blocker here. Little caked-up bug. Sure. This is a free block, as far as I understand. And then they just make a 5/5? They know about the Tooth and Nail, so they have to, like, do something about that. Okay, they got their little 5/5, adorable. Alright, so their commander did do something. I'll give them that. It did do something. They're also almost completely dead to Craterhoof. Let's just put something that's miserable to play against in place. That's funny. Always kills Sephiroth. I don't even want to kill their commander. It's kind of funny. This 5/5 can actually block. It can block. It no longer has Decayed. Does it stay without text? No, it regains its text. Okay. I'm used to like busted alchemy dumbness. It's weird when like it loses text, it gains text. It's not a duplicate, it's not a token. It just goes back to being normal. It's kind of funny. Just in a world of like Hearthstone jank. That does not matter whatsoever. I'm going to keep the Vaultborn Tyrant around. Actually, no I'm not, because this has land-based value. Why not, so. I'm getting multiple lands out of my Ice Till. This is a game where my opponent did commit 2 removal spells to Tifa. And this is what our board state looks like. Win on their own? Like Llanowar Elves? Okay. Not the best look for this card again. Kind of tragic. Do I play it turn 1 anyways? Probably? I'm gonna just play this. I'm gonna play a weirder thing. I have a weird line here. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah, Death Shadow, yep. That's another one. Just a random 13/13. Probably difficult to ever cast it for real, but maybe you just never care. It just goes right into the graveyard for free, so... I'm sure it's in my opponent's deck. This is... what is this? Voice of Victory. Alright. Fortunately for my opponent, not the scariest card. I will play the Sleeper Mythic here. Just the casual Mythic rare that no one wants to play against. This card is just arguably better than the entirety of my opponent's commander. So... they didn't kill the bird, so I feel confident about this line. This is another game where Burgeoning, yeah, just looking kind of weird. Unfortunate. There is a possibility it does do something significant this game, though. Also, they're attacking me. I'm not going to block. Oh, what's this? Oh, okay. They didn't have to do that. Yeah, they did not have to do it in that way. Sure. Same conclusion. Okay, so Commander as an uh-oh Spaghetti-O. And then Explore. Well, if it was swords, they let me gain life unnecessarily. So here's to hoping it's Path of Exile. Otherwise, again, we're gaining unnecessary life. No reason to play Burgeoning. Yeah, I mean, it's mostly just a Kami, right? It's just another Boiler Grazer. I wouldn't really, it's not I wouldn't call this an Explore at all. It's kind of just, oh, you mean Exploration. Yeah. I am not convinced that there's a downside of blocking a 1/1, so I'm going to do that. Can't stop me. Alright, they're still leaving up that spell, so it must be... well, I mean, it could be all sorts of things. But it's probably swords at this point. Oh, maybe it's Path. There's an upkeep stop. They didn't let me... this is actually very incorrect. Maybe it's Solitude? You want me to not be able to cast my protection spell. So you should do this on your own turn where I can't do it. And it looks like they're going to do it here. Yeah, this is a mistake. Oh, it's not at all what I thought it was. Alright, huge. So I can't cast spells. Let's just pass then? Sure, yep. Alright, never mind. Makes vastly more sense. What do they get rid of? That's just a gnarled colony. Alright. That's what that is. You got it. Yeah, if all the broken one-drops, this definitely is... It feels bad, but it is effectively like a Boreal Grazer. And maybe that's okay. It's not like I would ever take out a Boreal Grazer, so... I mean, this attack is free. Okay, just consider this one free as well. I feel like you could have just one with this, though. Yep. Okay, so... We simply play Primeval Titan. Oh, my opponent's dead? Wait, are they? I don't know, I'll say good game back. Maybe I'll just make them concede. Okay, they might actually be dead, which is hilarious. I didn't, like, anticipate actually untapping with my commander and having it sit and play the whole time. I kind of forgot that was even here. Like, I'm using it to block, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's the actual way to win. But we can't always have everything. Can't always have all of it. Now can we? That, at least, doesn't matter, so that works out. Mono green is fairly duress resistant, I'll say that much. I'm sure they'll take the rampant growth. I don't know, I mean, it's one of these, you might as well take this one. Although I am Tifa, actually. Yeah, I was about to say, I'm still a Tifa player, so that actually makes sense. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. So, can hold on to the fetch land. Yeah, there's a few different lines I can take this turn cycle. I'm going to play the card they know about. That's what I'm going to do. Looks like there was no counter spell or anything. And I'm not going to play the Grazer. Just not going to play it. Alright, there was something castable without creatures in play. And it wasn't an end-step cantrip. I wonder what that is. Edict? Shieldred Edict? Alright. Galaxy Brain time. Play around Shieldred Edict. Are the reads finally paying off? Are we doing the right thing? Oh my goodness. Is it happening? Did I play around the right card? That would be kind of cool. That's the read I have, right? 2 mana, it's not a cantrip, it's not endurance, it's not grief. They can't... Oh, it could be subtlety, but they would have cast it, I'm sure. Alright, I'm gonna assume that's what it is. Cool. So... we can play Tifa at any point we want, really. There's a not very good card here. I'm gonna hold on to the Delighted Halfling. I don't see there's a worthwhile thing to cast. And I'm going to swing for my quest. That's what we're gonna do. This is a sorcery? Nope. The One Ring can easily win the game, though. I didn't do any damage before it entered, so it is fast spawn, yeah. Hey, they killed my commander. Look at that. The threat is real. Could this have killed the Mythweaver Puck? Because I think it might have wanted to do that instead. Although Tifa's just lethal. Yeah. Tifa has the ability to become lethal completely out of nowhere, so... probably a good idea. Alright, well, they're taking at least, what, 14? Oh, now they're just taking deadness? Unless they have a counterspell. They could have a Tails End, although I think they would have done that. Yep. I'm not even going to cast a Delighted Halfling. Sure. Alright, now I wish I could cast a Delighted Halfling, but I didn't. Do I cast it now? I think, unfortunately, I have to cast this now, because we have a legendary spell in our hand. It would be wise to do as such. The One Ring is now a problem, but I did miss 2 damage. I missed 2 damage. Alright, that's not gonna do it. Wait, what was that? Sire of 7 deaths, alright. They did not pick up the Thoughtseize. They could have just picked up the Thoughtseize and taken care of Nifty and Pop. It's odd. Although, to be fair, it might not matter by the time I would get to this in the red zone, because it doesn't have haste or anything. So I guess that makes sense. You just, like, can't afford to do that. Still a little odd, though. Alright, we're just over it. Yep. So we have, what, how many landfall spadoodles? Uh-oh. Alright, maybe we can keep him busy enough. Keep him preoccupied long enough. I'm gonna try to keep this and see what happens here. I mean, I like it, so see if it works out. There's a fairly decent chance it doesn't, but who knows? Opponent said hello twice. I wonder if they know me. Alright, Molt Tender. Commander. Alright, we're in there. We're in there in a way that may or may not matter. This is... What is this? Oh, there's nothing! Alright, so... Yep. There's nothing. My opponent doesn't have anything. Is this lethal? No, it's not, is it? Tragic. I can do 8. Should I? No, what I really genuinely should do is actually cast this card, so... Kinda tragic. Kinda tragic, but I should probably actually full stop cast that. Wow. Opponent just said I don't have it, but to be fair, neither did I. Fair enough. That is a lot of mana rocks. Guess it makes sense. If they have Anger of the Gods, the game does end. If you have a burn spell, you have to kill Tifa. You can't kill those. Oh, they're thinking about it. Yeah, no, it's... I feel like it's pretty... You have to kill this. I'm sorry to break it to you, but such is the way of things here. What benefits me from tapping this over this? Literally nothing. So I'll just cast this. Cast this. Get a Treasurino. And no real this thing. Alright, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have the mana to do stuff. Okay. This has to kill either or. Okay, they killed that one. They don't know what my hand is, but they pseudo killed the wrong one. Let's cast this on the Kaimil, so they don't get infinite value. Pressure is real. Have to deal with Cityscape Leveler now. I believe they just drew that island for the turn. If they go Commander extra turn, we could still just lose the game. Yeah. That's the line. Sure. I've eaten my lands. Oh no, this is really bad. I've eaten my lands. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's actually just abysmal. Maybe I can just mill one? Oh, that doesn't even do anything. That just doesn't do anything. Yep, this is bad. Alright. Let's put some lands in our graveyard. Ancient Tomb, Cavern, generic fetch land, forest. And then play you. Yeah, this is where... yeah. That's where things look kind of bad here, yeah. Not ideal, I'll say that. This is definitely not an ideal situation. But I guess I played stuff. My opponent's low on cards. There's a lot of mana rocks and interaction. You know, they don't simply just have it. They drew another land for the turn. I would love to see interaction vomit here. Or a minus on rail. I'll also just take that. That is not what happened. That's not good. That is not a good sign. Oh, okay, sure. I feel like maybe would have done that before I blind plussed, but I suppose it's about the same. So kill the Growl, because I quite literally have to do that. I can probably just do other things now. Alright, does my opponent win a coin flip and thus probably win the game? I don't think I can stop the 8-8. Of course they win the coin flip and now probably win the game. Cool. Love it. I've yet to win a coin flip, by the way. Let's play this card. I wouldn't say it's over, but I mean that's obviously completely insane that they have that and I don't. It's the old 3-mana Cityscape Leveler. If they swing, they lose their commit. Oh, they lose it anyways, never mind. Wait. What? What do you... Yeah. What? No. Yeah. Oh. Oh. I'm killing that. Yeah. Okay, there you go. That. Yeah. So... Always dead. Don't need it. Do I care for the damage? Not necessarily. This is free, right? Wait. So is... You need 2 spells. Yeah, I'm not... Get out of here. I'm not respecting that. Okay, sure. They had something, but if it was a burn spell, so we respect everything. So... 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... 10... wait, let's go to combat first and see what happens when I do that. Let's go ahead and not tap our mana dork for no reason. I'm going to exile the Cityscape Leveler so I don't lose to losing my stuff. Alright, yep. They almost just 50-50 coin flipped won the game, but fortunately they didn't. It was rather close, though. I haven't had an Ancient Tomb game yet. I don't think it's at its strongest in this deck, but that's not saying much. That's not knocking it down any significant pegs by saying that. Sylvan Safekeeper, funny enough, I haven't used it yet. So, 4 mana, ramp spell, so I can go here. Yeah, we can do 2 things here, and I will do as such. I mean, this is the power of Ancient Tomb, right? The preceding turns, I don't even know how relevant they are. I've basically just time walked twice. Yeah, I did. Again, it doesn't. This is another example in a different deck as well from the last time. But when you do this, it doesn't matter what you do after you did this. They're mono black, so like of all the things to not mulligan, this is probably one of the. Oh no, Thoughtseize. No. All right, there goes the bird. So they have the first thing checked off. I guess we're thinking about it. That's wild. Watch him take the Titan. What? Alright, that's crazy. That's crazy. They took the protection spell for my commander. I would assume that was the logic. That's crazy. But they knew the hand. They knew there were no, like, ramp spells for my commander. So I wasn't juking them out. But they still took the only thing I would never take in the history of taking cards out of someone's hand. I would never, ever take that card. That's wild. Alright, well, they're thinking just as long as the Thoughtseize. I would argue they probably made the wrong choice with the Thoughtseize with that much time, so maybe it's in our favor they do it again. And just don't interact. Yeah, I do completely disagree with the Thoughtseize. Alright, if there was another line that they had that involved killing the Provisioner, it's another line I just think they might have just went the wrong direction with. I don't know. I really don't think I should be allowed to have done what I'm about to do. So, alright, we take it. Let's get the forced tap lands here so I can get immediate value. Oh yeah, Ancient Tomb though. Yeah, okay, Ancient Tomb is an easy one. That's an easy one. I mean, it still could have just been a forced fetch land, though, because of the treasure tokens, but we'll just take the Ancient Tomb, because this is permanent, right? The tokens are not. Oh, hey, I can also do this. Bro, Task Provisioner is so stupid. Such a stupid card. What is this, dude? What is that? That's disgusting. I could have swung as well. It would have been funny if they blocked. I highly doubt it. But now I have two blockers. Maybe Sephiroth just simply can't swing. That's just absolutely disgusting, what I just did. So gross. Is that permanent? No, it's not. No one has ever cast this against me. It makes the Thoughtseize feel less crazy, but you still gave me the Primeval Titan first, right? Like, I still got the value from it, and I capitalize on it vastly more. So, it's a little interesting line there, but I mean... Sure. Alright, my opponent figured out how to get two lands. Cool. They're playing a bit slow here. I'm not gonna lie to you. I will absolutely block. Wait. Do I? 5, 6, 7. I could simply just block this. I feel as though it's a rather heavy investment on my opponent's end if I block it. I'm gonna block this, yeah. I think Provisioner has done what I want it to do, and yeah, we'll just walk away. Although there is an argument that this is better than my opponent's commander, I would make that argument. It's not totally like that bad of an argument. Yeah, Center Your Titan, of course, only showing up in games where it's awful, as is tradition. Do I cast it anyways? I don't need the mana, so maybe my opponent does? I don't know. I don't need it. Okay. Well, there's no more Fatal Push on their turn, because they didn't float it. So if there's like a cut down or something, and they don't have a land, they can't also cast their commander. Opponent is playing mobile with their toes at the pace they're playing. Alright, currently casting Bloodchief Thirst required serious brain power. Interesting. Is there another spell? Reassembling Skeleton. Love it. Doesn't have Trample. Commander has Trample, though. So now we just chill. Yeah, we simply chill, and then we try to find a window to kill our opponent with the cards in our hand, right? Yep, that's it. It's a one-shot. That was the one-shot card we did draw. Not tooth and nail, but again, it has the capacity to completely obliterate my opponent's face. Didn't have to do this to cast their commander. They just didn't have to do that. So, if the skeleton is all they are doing, we can kill them. Does that do anything? No, not really. Wait, does it? Unless we play 2 lands. If I cast this for 4, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but they're fetch lands. Ooh, it also makes me... Ooh, kinda spooky. Ah, whatever, who cares? Who cares? I'm casting it. Oh man, that would have been lethal. Alright, this is highly questionable, but it's the line I've taken. Highly questionable. I don't even know if this was ever right. I don't know if this even mattered, but too late now. Alright, they killed Tifa twice in a row, right? They're doing the thing. They draw a land. Sure, they can sack that to the tower. We're not dead in play. We're not dead on board, so they have to do something on a hand. Wait, what? This isn't lethal, is it? There's no way. There's no way this is lethal. I don't believe it. And then I take... What if I block there? Take 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Block here, block there. Go down to 2. And then 1. Okay, still have that 1 mana card. So fortunately, I can do a different line, and I don't actually need to Blanchwood armor the Tifa. Yeah, I don't need to. Well, they didn't kill me, so I guess we're sitting pretty. Oh, I can sack that. Can't tap. Okay. Okay, wow. Okay, should probably play Utopia's Brawl. So I don't get hit by swords or something. Been a while since I've played Utopia's Brawl, actually. So, yeah, we're gonna diversify. Instead of just playing a 3-drop. Do 2 things, because if the halfling does die, well, at least I got something done for the turn. Alright, hand's asking some questions here. We just have to find the answers. But they do exist. This has to take... It doesn't actually matter. Okay. This thing and my commander. And sweepers literally don't exist. They're just not real. Never upset with that. Would have really enjoyed myself a land here. Power 5 or greater. Tragic. We can recast this because I didn't draw a land. So then I can play the thing my opponent knows about. I think that would make the most sense, maybe. And the other two, I mean, as all the landfall, I just need the... Actually, all of the landfall. Like, actually all of it, I just need a land. Opponent gets rid of honor. Neat. When's it flip? 5? Alright. This can shut down Tifa because it can't double from 0. Funny little trick there. Unless they found something to... Oh, they can just cast swords. Okay, I mean, you can still literally just 0 and then or plus, and it doesn't have any power and it doesn't double. If your opponent's not aware of that, or they just don't care. So here, Bristlyville. Yeesh. Kind of rough. Sure. I'm gonna definitely put the counter here and force them to deal with it. They can't be swords, so if it's Cyclonic Rift, I mean, congratulations, I guess. I don't really need the second counter to go there. Let's put it on the Delighted Halfling, because that feels like maybe the most annoying thing to interact with for the opponent. Yeah, I just don't need more counters on this Mossborn Hydra. I also don't need to go face. Invasion is pretty interesting. You can only remove counters from creatures. So it's only the backside, right? Yeah, it's not like the 3, what are these called? What is this? Reverse loyalty. Defense counters. Defense counters, alright. Okay. Very good draw. Or as good as I want it to be, I don't know. I don't need food tokens this game, so I'm not going to make food tokens.
Let's put a counter on just sort of everything a little. Wait, are they dead? No, I would only be doing 2 more damage with Bristly Bill. Alright, never mind, they're not dead. I can spam it, though. It is spammable. They basically need a board wipe, right? That's kind of just what my opponent needs here. Assume that's what they're just going to blitz mulligan for. Or, I mean, surveil for, not mulligan. Red, green... Oh, right, they're banned. I'm like, what is that? What is this doing? They have green. I mean, we're as all-in as it gets, but this deck so far hasn't given me board wipe vibes. It's kind of like, you know, this, and if it cares about its commander in any sense, it probably doesn't have them, but we'll see. What does this even get here? It can't get a white creature. So what does this do? Landwar Elves? That'd be... Bristly... Nadu? Nadu? We can get Nadu. Rip. It's definitely not Nadu. Primeval Titan. Unfortunately, it's counterable. So we just go straight to combat. Wait a minute. I can still cast it and then not lose to mana drain. Yeah, this puts more stat. If it does resolve, we kind of just win. So, we have to force the issue here. Alright, well, they don't have it, I guess. Is it Tail's End? Now it has to be Tail's End? Stifle? Something like that? Sure. So now we go to combat. The old Alpha Striker Reno. They have to block... Who cares? Yeah, who cares? Was this lethal? Was there a lethal in here somewhere? No, there was not. No. There was no lethal there. They got to another turn, but it looks like there's not much left. Yeah, alright. Alright. So, pretty smooth games with this. Very positive win rate. I'll say that, but Tifa's always going to have a positive win rate. I would argue that this is a... It's more interesting. I don't know if it is better, but if you assess all games played between this and the other one that you would see vastly more, which is this one, I think I like the one we played way more. The option to have, like, the benefit of your opponent mulliganing to respect this, where it's not the end-all be-all, like, to kill this and the game's over, you have other things to do, that is very significant, right? Maybe a lot of people don't think that way, but your opponent's mulliganing decisions do matter if they're just and we did see that. There were people blitzing to find ways to deal with this out of their opening hand. So, even when I play against it, it's like, I gotta find answers to Tifa, you know? And when you do that, it makes your hand weaker against the other thing I'm doing, which is, you know, all of this typical green ramp nonsense. It doesn't even play at a significant detriment to your strategy of Tifa, because all of it is still based in playing multiple lands a turn, like rampant growth effects and whatnot, which we are flooded with. You have, the added benefit of not playing protection spells in games where they would just be bad, or they didn't make it, right? Like, oh, I'm just playing too slow of a strategy with Tifa because it takes too long to get it in play, and also leave up a counter spell, or a protection spell of some kind. You don't have to do that. Your protection spells are effectively dead without your Tifa in play, whereas this deck doesn't have really any dead things going on. It's not doing anything that's considered just dead in hand, other than, you know, a turn 7 top deck Molt Tender feels kind of bad, right? This has trample attached to it, right? So you can still play, and we did, it was Blanchwood Armor, and I see Scale Up would, you know, having make way more sense than Blanchwood Armor, but it doesn't really take much at all for this to be lethal with your commander, right? As opposed to just playing like 5 things that make this a 3/3 or like +1/+1 effects and whatnot, and then you're like, boom, a ramp spell, then they're dead. But like this, just you just put it on there, and then you cast Rampant Growth, and then suddenly they're dead on turn like 6 or something. It goes from like, what? Let's say it's a 7/7 because of this. You play a land, it goes to a 14/14. You have any source of an extra land, boom, 28. So I really do like this, but I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's as crazy as Scale Up, because Scale Up has the capacity to kill your opponent basically immediately. If, you know, Tifa wasn't already doing that, Scale Up is excellent. So, I don't know. Also, Scale Up does have Overload. I've never overloaded this, I don't think. Someone would have to remind me, but I don't think I've ever overloaded this. But man, is it funny if you have random Scute Swarm tokens, and there's not a million of them, and you have some random mana dorks, you can just kill your opponent, right? No one's gonna expect that, but it's kind of similar to Craterhoof Behemoth in that regard. I was mainly playing this just to play it. I just wanted to play this card. I'm sure there are better things to, you know, cast at 6 mana, but it's kind of nice. If once it's in play, it's kind of like Kaimil. You know, you just get the free spell, everything's on counter roll. It's kind of similar, except this gets a permanent of your choice right into play. Does, you know, all the same. It is uncounterable, but that's not really a reason I would play either of them for the counter clause. I like it. This is a cool card, I guess. It's alright. It gives you options that are similar to Tooth and Nail, and, you know, it's effectively the turn earlier before Tooth and Nail would become a thing, and then you could just Craterhoof whenever the time is right. It's just a really scary card to have him play. You can actually get fetch lands, which is really funny. I don't know if you would ever find yourself doing that, but you can get fetch lands with this. Oh, it's really funny. Yeah, so, I mean, the green beat down big ramp mid-range 5-drop into 6, 7, 8-drop thing is just phenomenal, right? All of this is phenomenal. Some of these could have been a little different. Again, Blanchwood Armor could have just been a ramp spell that gets lands. It plays into Tifa about, well, not about the same, but, you know, it's doing the same thing. But it would also help you in other situations where you just want mana. So you could just play another ramp spell, and it would be completely fine to do that. Completely fine. I did not really feel bad when this died the first 2, sometimes even 3 times in any game. It just felt like the game was still winnable, right? I wasn't automatically screwed when it died. I had something else to do. I'm casting ramp spells. You can continuously recast your commander. So I didn't really feel like I was at a huge loss without protection spells, right? A lot of Tifa players want to have the protection spell up when they go into the red zone with their like 56 or their 100 100 or their 102 creature. So you can just not care about that, and it just complements your deck so well. It is definitely closer to what Bristly Bill is trying to do, except it skips the slow build up, and you can just go into lethal with, like, you know, what is it, Scape Shift or something like this. You just suddenly have lethal, whereas Bristly Bill might only give you 5 counters. Now it has an ability that cares and whatnot, but I do really like the one-shot capacity that this provides to a mono green strategy. And it doesn't play against Keenan. I thought it would. Thought this would be basically bracket 5 Hellcube, but it's not. That's quite significant. I'm honestly a little surprised at that. Maybe it's because people play the 1-drop, 2-drop version, and that one is deemed weaker. It's just like kind of an aggro deck with this sort of combo with the ramp spells situation. But I don't really know. I mean, mono green, if this is considered bracket 5, then green in general would probably just be forced to be stuck in bracket 5, because this deck that I have right here, these 99 cards, are essentially applicable to quite a large chunk of the mono green commanders. You don't actually have to play this, and you could keep the exact same 99 and have whatchamacallit. It's based solely on the commander right now. Alright, well, someone in chat says it's just your commander. So if you want even weaker opponents and you find a commander you like, you just be like, bloop, take this out and find something. I don't know. But the matchups that this had were completely fine. A lot of those matchups, I felt like I just started off with an advantage. Just full stop. It's like, oh, my opponent's not green. I'm on the play. Good luck. I didn't win all of those games, but I just feel like I was favored in a fair amount of the things that this was playing against, and I wasn't sure if that was going to be the case. I did say I have been playing this offline a lot, and it did seem sort of to be the case where those, a fair amount of matchups where I'm like, wow, I'm really just not playing as Keenan. Like, all right, I mean, sometimes it feels like I shouldn't be because you do just get completely schmeated. But, this has massive amounts of recovery options because we have all this. I don't think I've ever played this yet or put it in play. I did not own this card when I first played Tifa when the set just came out. But, yeah, this card is very, very, very good. Let me tell you, I'm a big fan of that one. But this one, I don't really know how I felt about this. The mill thing actually isn't that exciting. The other two abilities are, it's like a oracle for the graveyard instead of the top of the library, but like this is just okay. Playing lands in the graveyard is something that I'm more or less. I mean, if you've seen me play green things, and not a like Crucible of Worlds effects, like I'm just not normally into these kinds of cards. I would rather this card be a ramp spell, right? And the 4-mana one is essentially a ramp spell because it lets you play 2 lands. So that's kind of a thing of why I like it. But like this in Ramunat Excavator, yeah, it's great. If you have Bristly Bill or Lotus or your commander in any kind of fetch land, I would probably play a little bit more fetch lands, though, if I was going to play all of these effects. And I really don't know what I would even take out, honestly. Like, you just don't need these. This can just be a 3-mana Rampant Growth equivalent. And you got your landfall that way by just ramping yourself, right? Assuming you don't also expect to have the play multiple lands a turn effect on top of it, right? Because at that point you're just exploding mana in some form or fashion. It doesn't really matter how you're doing it. But in isolation, the Ramunat Excavator, it does require you to have something, whereas Cultivate doesn't require you to have anything. It just requires you to cast it, right? So I do still lean heavily in the direction of these kinds of cards over reanimating my lands. And yep, so that's that. This is a really, really successful strategy, extremely powerful, one of the best things in the format, most assuredly, and it can also play Ancient Tomb like everything else. So there you go. Mox Amber might be the only thing that's somewhat questionable, because we're not heavily relying on this staying alive, and this sometimes felt weird. Chromox I was actually a fan of, but this one, you don't need it. If you don't own it, I would say in this exact iteration, you don't need it. If you're the 1-drop, 2-drop one, definitely. But here, Alright, that's all I've got for you, so let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.